Yes, so we'll be talking about payback period. Payback period. As I've said, most of the discussion are what we have in performance management, likewise. So when we talk about payback period, what are we trying to determine? Payback period. That is the time a project will take to pay back the money spent on it. So it is the period it takes cash inflows to equate cash outflow
Sorry,
and
sir. Sir, we are not continuing the investment. I mean, the question on that investment appraisal.
we are not solving question on investment appraisal. We've concluded the issue of discounts. So I was just explaining the issue of relevant cash flows when you're trying to evaluate investments before I concluded the class. So under investment appraisal, there are various techniques you use to invest to evaluate investments. You have the discounted approach and the non-discounted approach. So one of the approach which is non-discounted is the payback period in which we'll look at. Yes, that question you saw, I didn't talk about it. That question is on issue of relevant cash flow, but because of time, I
Yes, sir. That's what I was trying to ask. Is
no,
the relevant?
yes, that question is just is not a serious question. It's just trying to test your understanding about what is relevant and what is not relevant. That is, a manufacturing company is considering the production of a new type of widget. Each widget will take 2 hours to make. Fixed overhead are apportioned on the basis of $1 per labor hour. If the new widgets are produced, the company will have to employ an additional supervisor at the salary of what? $15, $15,000 per annum. The company will produce 10,000 widgets per annum. The question is, what are the relevant cash flows in this question? So based on this question, what is the relevant cash flow based on the decision that will be taken? Yes. So can you tell me what is the relevant cash flow based on the decision that the organization wants to take?
The additional supervisor salary, I think so.
That is just it. So that is why I was not ready to speak much on it. The additional salary that will be involved is the relevant cost. Any other costs, the fixed overhead is not relevant. Yes, that's already been determined over time. Yes, it does. The decision of producing additional widget does not affect the fixed overhead, so it is not relevant. As I've explained before, that fixed costs are not relevant costs. So that is why I skipped it because of time. So talking about payback period, when you invest in when you invest your fund, one thing you always want to look at is when will I recoup back my investment? So the payback period shows the time it takes the cash inflows from a capital investment project to do what? To equal the cash outflows. So payback is simply the amount of time it takes cash inflow to equal cash outflows. So in most projects, payback period is often used as a first screen process in order to determine the years it will take the project to recoup the initial investment. So there are various advantages of payback period. Once you solve, you discover that it's very simple, does not involve any technicality as much. It is one of the advantages that it is simple to calculate and easy to understand, and it takes risk into consideration. Why do we say it takes risk into consideration? Because it does not give room for your investment to stay long. The shorter you are able to recoup your money, the better it is for you as a business, as an organization. And it uses cash flows rather than accounting profits. Now the question is, what is the difference between cash flow and accounting profit? Accounting profit deducts depreciation. Yes, accounting profit is your gross profit less other expenses and depreciation. But when you are giving a question and the question have issue of depreciation, you are giving accounting profit. When you are giving accounting profit, definitely in that question you also be giving depreciation. So how do you get your cash flow? You get your cash flow by saying accounting profit plus depreciation. You get your cash flow. You get your cash flow. Yes. So it uses cash flow rather than accounting profit, because accounting profit involve what? It involves depreciation. So depreciation is not a cash item. So that is why we don't use the accounting profit, but rather we use cash flow. But when you are served with a question and you are seeing accounting profit, depreciation, and the rest of it, what do you do? The approach, the formula is this: cash flow is equal to accounting profit plus depreciation. That is the formula. Before I send this slide, I will incorporate that into this slide. The disadvantage of payback period is that it ignores the time value of money. It means it does not factor in inflation. Yes, it does not factor in inflation when you are computing it. It does not consider the issue of present value, annuity, and the rest. So where two projects give same payback period, the method will not be useful. You have project A, project B, project C, and three of the project, the payback period is 1 year. So which one will you choose? So it does not give a better advantage in that regard. And it ignores cash flow after payback period. It means the excess cash flow after the payback period is not being considered, and there is no any judgment regarding that. That is one of the issue with payback period. Now, when you have your payback period result, how do you make your decision? The decision rule is only select projects that pay back within specified period. Yes, if your target is you're expected that this project, you should recoup back your money in the next 3 months. And once you do your analysis and you discover that project A you'll be able to recoup back your money within 3 months for project A, project B is 5 months. Your decision will be to go for project A because you can recoup back your money based on your set target. So choose between options on the basis of fastest payback. So when you have arrays of projects, the projects that would enable you to recoup back your money within a short while should be the one you should choose as part of your as a basis of your decision. Yes. So we have various instances where we can have questions on cash flow. There are instances where you can have constant annual cash flows. There are instances where you can have varied uh, cash flows, where the cash flow is not equal, is not constant. So how do you treat that? One of the first example I put here is in a case where we have constant cash flow, where you have constant cash flow. So in this question now, I put that an expenditure of, sorry, the formula is this. Payback period, the formula is initial investment divided by what? Annual cash flow. The initial investment divided by the annual cash flow, where the annual cash flow is what? Is constant. So this example, that an expenditure of 2 million, an expenditure of okay, okay. Sorry, the tutor is saying I should let her in. Let me tell her a few minutes. So an expenditure of 2 million is expected to generate net cash inflows of $500,000 each year for the next 7 years. What is the payback period for the project? So this is a case of constant cash flow. You understand? So based on this formula, what will be the results? When will be the payback period? When will be the payback period now? Now, the initial investment is what? It's 2 million.
2 million.
The annual cash flow
Four
is what?
years.
4 years.
So the payback period will be what? Be 4 years.
4 years.
4 years.
4 years, fine. So let's look at this example again. Yes, there is a reason for this example. In the first example, you have 4 years perfectly, right? What of in a case where you have 4 points?
Yes, yes.
Constant annual cash flow still. A project will involve spending 1.8 million. Now, annual cash flows from the project will be $350,000. What is the expected payback period? So based on this now, what will be the expected payback period? Payback period will be what?
5 years and some months.
5.1.
Okay, 350.
5 years.
5.1429.
4. Yeah.
1429 years. So is there anything like this?
No.
5.1429 years. So how are
No.
we going to determine the months involved? How are we going to determine the months involved? It's very simple. It will be those points you multiply them by 12. Take note. 0.1429 multiplied by what? Let me write it this way. Of year. You multiply it by what? By 12 months. You multiply it by 12 months. It will give you what?
1.7.
1.7.
Is to convert it to 1.7 months. So is there anything like 1.7 months?
No.
You
No.
round it
No.
up. You round it up to two months.
2 months.
Yes, you round it up to 2 months. So your answer will be what? 5 years.
Yes.
5 years,
2
3
And
months.
months.
2 months.
So that is how to solve it. Take note. When you see you solve and you have decimal, yes, the decimal from the 0.1429, you pick it up, multiply by 12, and get it in months. So that is how to treat scenarios like this. So though I have another question where we don't have same cash flow for the years, but I will not solve this now because of the time, and as they want to
Hello,
engage
sir.
my platform,
Oh.
so I will not solve it now.